It's fine. I don't want you to do it anymore.
And I had to stand there, ass in face. And that was a true bonding experience for us.
I'd be saying something and you go, and then there was like a leech. And then the tour guide came over and they were making fun of me and they were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I was like, I literally could have died. Come on.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to do a part 2 to the travel stories video.
So last time we did China.
Yeah, and then a bit of wrong.
Oh yeah, because right, so we only had one story from there, so we included that. This time
Indonesia. We've got lots of stories about Indonesia.
Yeah.
Because we did some fun things, like we went jungle trekking. We literally like lived in the jungle for 4 days. We slept, we ate, we walked, we'll put pictures of our setup.
We went to the toilet.
It wasn't like it was literally bamboo sticks with a bit of sheet over it. That's what we slept in. Imagine if the tigers had got into us. The mountain lions.
Oh
you imagine?
God, yeah.
Anyway, so we have many stories from that.
Yeah. So
when we were in the jungle, we were in Bukit Lawang, Indonesia. Set the scene. Okay?
Set the scene. It was a rainy day. It was a monsoon season, really hot, really.
It wasn't actually raining though.
I know, it was actually
it was actually disgustingly hot.
No, that wasn't when it was disgustingly hot. That was when we were in the jungle. No, that was when we were in Sumatra.
No, we were in the jungle.
Do you remember before we went into the jungle, it was really nice because we would sit out in the hammock on the the porch.
Are we thinking about the same thing?
But when
because there was not porch in the jungle, Gabriella, it was the wild.
Before we went into the jungle, we stayed in accommodation in this hut.
Yeah.
We're gonna put pictures on everything.
Yeah.
And then all the monkeys. Oh, because that's when in the morning all the
alligators
would come out of the jungle. So we were right next to the jungle. Yeah. The monkeys would come out of the jungle, and we would like feed them some food.
It was really cute.
It was really cute. But it was like a nice temperature. But going into the jungle.
Because
we were hiking in the jungle.
Literally.
Then literally it was like buckets of sweat.
It was so. Imagine if this has been focused all the time. It was so hot, and you'd literally be sweating from every gland on your body, ones that you never even thought were there, and then you'd wipe it off, and then literally 0.5 of a second later it'd be sweaty again. There's no point wiping your sweat because it'd be. And one of the guys that we were with, he did not sweat at all. How? Obviously, when you're in the jungle, you see all the wild animals.
The deeper into the jungle you can go, is the more likely you will see wild animals.
So we went for 4 days.
Yeah.
And on the last day, we started seeing elephant footprints in the ground, and like elephant poo that had magic mushrooms growing out of it.
So basically, we went 4 days deep into the jungle, and then we
water rafted back. Oh, we forgot about that story.
I can't tell that story. It's a bit true. No, it's too. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was really scary. Oh my god.
Alright, we'll get to that point. We'll like holding hands down here like, oh my god, that traumatic experience.
Right, so basically we like followed the water flow so that we would like shower every stop that we went to sleep. Yeah. That's why we rafted back. Yeah. Oh god.
We saw the orangutans and the monkeys, and we'd feed them, we'd stop to feed them and just like chill with them, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then there was one time that there was, because obviously the tour guides go all the time, so they know like what animals are in there, because they have them have been sent to go to like rehab.
Yeah.
and then they get put back into the jungle. So some of them, like, they'll know the names of.
Yeah, some of them.
Where would they come from?
I think it's like if they've been poached and they have been like saved. Some of them, they have been cared for and rehabilitated since they were younger. So some of them are like tamed and they're fine with the humans that are going in.
One of these orangutans that the tour guides knew about, she was female and she was quite aggressive. So they knew about this tour guide. Anyway, obviously orangutans are very strong, and the tour guides had said, like, if an orangutan like gets your arm and pulls you up the tree, because obviously we're feeding them. It was like, if he grabs your arm,
literally grab your arm,
rip your arm off.
No, they can't rip
yes, they
your
can.
arm.
That's what he said. What do you mean?
They're strong enough to carry your body weight. They could like make you fly.
Yeah, I know, but also they're strong enough to just rip it off.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that's what he said. Anyway, either way, you're either getting dragged up the tree or you're getting your arm pulled off. It's either way, it's still not good. Okay, so we hear about this aggressive.
Wait. Come on.
They're so strong. Could rip your arm off. Easily. Thank you. Anyway.
It could rip your arm off easily.
I know, that's what they said. So anyway, this orangutan is so hungry. Okay? And she's coming down and we're like, and then
this is when I was so slow.
she was so hiking. We could have hiked that in like 2 days if it wasn't for Gab.
No, you could not, because you did a certain amount every day, but I was just slow.
We could have been at camp like so much
earlier
every single day. This orangutan goes down and we're like, oh, here she is. Like, maybe she's hungry.
Because they were just saying, be cautious. Because like, if she hasn't had her food, she can be very aggressive.
Yeah.
And you have to be really careful.
So anyway, and then all of a sudden, she starts charging at us. So we have to literally run up these. It's not a path, it's in the jungle, so you have to like, run through the bushes.
We literally did not have time to turn around and see if we could see
where she was,
but you could hear how fast she was going from like the rattle of the trees and like her swinging on the branches.
So the tour guide had to try and get her attention with bananas,
because he stayed behind.
He stayed behind.
And he was like, you go like as far as you can.
So we were with the other tour guide, because there was two, one in the front, one in the back, for this reason. So then we were following the other guy, like, and he's chopping down all the bushes with his sword, and oh my god, it was so dramatic. Oh yeah, and the orangutan, didn't it like bite him or scratch him or something? I'm sure it bit him. I'm sure. But anyway, he saved our lives.
He did save our lives.
He was such an angel.
And then he carved us an orangutan face out of stone. I've still got it. And I've got a picture of it, so we'll put that.
Okay, so next story. Are we gonna do when you nearly died? I nearly saved your life.
I don't think you nearly saved my life. I'm joking.
I tried to save your life.
I know. Oh.
As we said before, Gab was very slow.
I think we should... No, that is not why I fell.
I'll tell you why you didn't fail, because you didn't listen to me and say, Gab,
because you made the rules.
No, because the guy had said to us, step on that one and that one. So the next story.
Right, okay, so basically, part of the trek that we did, obviously there's not a path. There is no path.
It's the jungle. It's the Wild West.
It was not the Wild West.
Okay, well, it was the wild. It was the wild jungle.
It was the wild. Right. So
in the rainforest.
I don't think it was a rainforest.
It was a jungle rainforest.
It's a different thing.
Well, yeah, but it's easier to imagine a jungle, not like a safari. If you explain it as a rainforest, because then you picture what it was like. That's what it was like. Right.
So back to the story, Ella. If you could just be quiet,
okay,
and let me just say it. Don't interrupt me.
Okay.
Okay. So part of the trek that we were doing in the jungle was uphill, and we had to climb. Imagine there was literally just like a mudslide and like a tree trunk, and we had to like try and grab.
You told me to be quiet.
There was a small ledge that we were walking across because a lot of the tracks that we had to walk through were not like set in stone, like it was not a path.
Yeah,
we had to climb up like tree trunks, and we had to climb up mudslides. Like it was difficult.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it was so hard. I remember one of them, we were literally climbing up and we had to grab onto like
a root
of a tree, and it was not a strong tree, and like it was hard. So there was this one cliff, one ledge, and then there was a cliff right, like a drop right down, probably about 20 feet down, or like 20 meters more. I don't know how long it was, but at the bottom
it was a big drop.
At the bottom there was the end of like, there was a stream of water, basically, and then loads of rocks. So there was rocks here and then a stream of water here.
The only thing separating those was like trees, branches.
There was trees that were growing out of from the cliff. So basically, to get across, you had to step like over the big rock. There was a certain place that you had to step, and then obviously like this is the cliff. This is the ledge, there's the cliff, this is the rest of like,
and this
the
is
mud wall
on the edge of the cliff.
This is us, but then where this rock was, there was a bit of a tree trunk that had grown around it. So you could hold onto the tree trunk while you stepped on a part of the rock to then step on the next bit, so you're back on flat surface. Yeah. So basically,
the tour guide had said, the one at the front had said, step here and here.
I stepped.
No.
I stepped where I could.
No, she could have. She was like, I can't get my leg up that high, but you could have. You 100% could have. You just thought you couldn't. So then she stepped somewhere else, even though they said step here and here. And
so
she stepped somewhere else.
I stepped somewhere else. Where I stepped, I thought I had a better chance of stepping over, though, to be fair. And
which was just wrong.
Where I stepped onto this like rock, it was wet, so I slipped, and basically this is the path, this is the rock, this is where I stepped. I slipped right off the edge of the cliff.
Through the bushes.
Right, so basically the only thing that was holding me up was the trees and bushes, and it wasn't even trees, it was branches that were growing out of the edge. So I fell back onto the branches, snapped the way down, and then it eventually like held me up when there was like enough cushion. But if I was to fall all the way down, I would have fallen into like a pit of rocks, basically.
And died. Anyway, so from my perspective, I'm ahead of Gab, okay?
I haven't even said my perspective yet.
And all I hear is, oh my god!
I screamed all the way down.
You didn't even scream though, you went, oh my god!
I went, ah! And then when I'd stopped, I went, oh my god, because I didn't want to move. I didn't want to move because I could feel it was so light underneath me that if I moved, I was gonna fall. And I was like, I'm gonna die.
And I charged for Gabriella.
No,
I went to go and save it. Yes, I did, because I lost my stick trying to save you.
Did you? I mean, I couldn't see any.
So I had a stick that I had adapted as my walking stick, and I lost it trying to charge for you. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I maybe tried to say hold this. I don't know, but it got lost in the process.
Because basically the tour guides
then
like climbed down.
I don't know how they did that.
They had to kind of like grip down, and then they grabbed me and pulled me back up. I don't know how they did it though, because it was just like a mudslide.
I don't know, because it was literally branches. I don't know how they didn't like go through there and not fall.
I don't know how they didn't.
But they're so experienced.
It was so steep. It wasn't like you walking like that. It was down. It was down. I don't.
So imagine this. This is a cliff.
It was literally and
and it was just like branches that had fallen. That was like and Gab had snapped through the branches.
We can only explain how weak it was, because we don't have any pictures or anything. But it was just so weak. Right, it was weak basically.
I did try to save you though. But I was nothing I could do. But he was already on his way down to you. So I thought, I'm gonna give it. There you go.
I'm gonna let him get this one. I'll do the next one. you know, if you
I'll give you my stick.
And then basically, I got mocked for screaming. They were making fun of me and they were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I was like, I literally could have died. Come on.
If you had have listened to what people's instructions were, then you wouldn't have nearly died. But it creates a good story. Anyways,
yeah.
So yeah,
that was literally crazy.
So when we stopped off at each camp along the way, we
Still in the jungle.
We had to, you know,
We
if you wanted to shower.
We showered in the stream of water.
And it had loads of leeches in it, and it was disgusting. And I remember
we only found out that there was leeches because
the first night.
Oh my god, this is just me screaming the whole time. Right, so basically, everyone had their shower.
Well,
got
shower.
out. Yeah,
just
shower.
rinse yourself with the water.
Because we kind of like went swimming as well because it was so hot and so sweaty. So we had our bikinis. I had got out and felt something on my leg. They did not say beforehand like there's leeches in the water because why would they? Like most normal people would think it's just a leech. I didn't even know what a leech was.
No, that's what
we didn't know what a leech was.
We didn't even know what a leech was.
So when I had got out of the water, I think this was the first night anyway.
Yeah.
I felt something on my leg and I was like, oh, you know, like, oh, what's that on my leg? Might be a bug or something. I saw something on my leg that I could not flick off and it just wasn't coming off. So I screamed. So obviously, right, so I screamed like I usually did because I screamed at everything. And then everyone came rushing over. Let me say the story! You did this so much in the last video as well. You literally, I'd be saying something and you go, and then there was like a leech. And then the tour guide came over and...
I like to make it dramatic.
Right.
I'll be quiet now.
You made me lose my train of thought when
the tour guide.
The tour guides were in their tent and heard me scream and ran over. They came over and they were a bit shocked as to why I was screaming that there was a leech on me. So basically, then I looked at my leg and there was about 7 leeches all down my leg. Oh my god.
Ew, it was disgusting.
And I was just screaming and they were like, calm down, calm down. And then they basically had to, like, you can't pull a leech off, it's like attached to you. So they had to scrape it and then basically like burn it in the fire. Oh my god.
Can I say the extra bit? Because I think that's so funny. That's such a bonding experience for us.
Right, you can say it, but let me explain. Okay, the beginning. I can't even explain it because I don't know what it is. When we were in October? We were in Pullaway. Staying on this island. It was really gorgeous. The last day of the trip, you know when you get a mosquito bite and sometimes it can come up really red and it feels really hot and it like throbs. I got one on my bum.
It was not a mosquito bite.
It wasn't a mosquito bite, but at the time, I like thinking back to where I could have got this from. I sat on this swing and I felt like a pinch on my bum. Didn't think anything of it. I thought like, oh, I sat on a bit of wood that had come up like got a splinter or something. Right, it could have been like a bite if there was like a mini spider or an ant or something. It could have been an infection from something that got into my skin if I did get like a splinter. Like it could have been a splinter, to be fair, and then it got infected. So basically, that was the last day, and it was throbbing, and it hurt, and it was so...
It was in an awkward place on your bum.
It was so painful. But basically, we were going back to Medan, and we had a long coach journey. I was wearing denim shorts, and I had this swollen, red, hot... It kind of had turned into like a blister at the time thing on my bum, and obviously I had to sit on it on the coach on the way back, and then halfway through I couldn't sleep. My leg hurt so much, so I woke up and went to the toilet, took my pants off to have a look and see like what had happened. It had burst and it was it had popped and it had gone massive, and it had rubbed so much that it had like gone so big. Oh, right, it was gross. I don't know what it was. For the rest of the trip, I ended up getting like these, they were called besoles, and basically that translates to a boil or a blister, but like, how do you get boils? And I don't know, and I don't know why I was getting them like all over like the area.
Somebody said it was to do with the bananas.
Like when we went back to Sumatra, we were asking everybody. We got like local Indonesians who like asked doctors, like everyone. They were like, it's the water, it's the eggs, it's the changing diet. So but then why was I getting it and no one else?
Yeah.
So basically that was really painful for like a long time. First one that I got when we got back to the house in Sumatra was so painful it made a hole in my skin, literally about this deep.
Yeah.
Ella.
And then Gab was like, she was in so much pain. She was like, I just need to, because
there was loads of pus in it.
There was loads of pus in it, which was like putting pressure on it, and
it was painful. You just had to like get it out.
She's like, oh my god, I just have to get it out. Like it was so painful. Blah blah. She's like,
I couldn't sit down.
She was like, you're gonna have to get it out, and I had to stand there, ass in face, and try and get the get the pus like out of this beesore.
It was disgusting.
And that was a true bonding experience for us. And really you're welcome.
Right, so none of them were that
I didn't want her to be in pain.
Oh my god, you're so nice.
You had to go to hospital. Show me where you're on.
Oh right, so one that I did get when I was in Singapore. I was walking around the zoo in Singapore with this big golf ball on my arm. Everyone was staring at me, but it was so painful to even graze that I couldn't put my jumper over it. I had my jumper up like this. There's the scar. That's the scar. So I did have to go to the hospital to get this one drained, and I went to Thailand next, so I went to the hospital in Thailand. I went in to get it drained. They didn't know what it was either.
Nobody knew what it was.
No one knew what it was, like, or how I got it. I had to lie down on this hospital bed while they cut my arm open, and I was screaming as usual, and I was scared, and I didn't want them to do it, and I was like, no, I've changed my mind. I don't care. I'll just leave it like that. I don't want you to do it. No. And I was like, ah. And then basically,
did they speak good English?
No, they didn't speak any English. They were just like, no, stay. And one of the ladies had to hold my shoulders down while I lied there, because I was trying to get up, and I was like, it's fine. I don't want you to do it anymore. And then she was like, lie down, and she was like holding me down onto the bed. And then I just like took my shoes off, and I lied there, and then I had my arm like this, and I was just like, I was literally just crying to myself. And then they bandaged it up, and then I had to go back every other day, but luckily we had the bikes, so it was easy to get to. No, it was like every couple of days. So then I stayed with this bandage on for a couple of days, and then when I went back, because they'd cut in and got all of the gunk out of my arm, there was a hole in my arm, and they'd put like the cotton, the material, inside my arm so that it like healed properly. So then the next time I went to the hospital, they took out the material. I nearly fainted. I actually nearly fainted. It was so disgusting. And I was just looking at my arm with this material, and I didn't realise the material was in my arm because I didn't watch the first time, and I was too hysterical that I didn't know what they were doing.
It makes me feel sick now thinking about it.
And then they had to pull it out and then like put another bit in, and I did not want them to do that. So them having to do it while I would, it's not that far from my eyes to see. I couldn't look anywhere else because I was so intrigued as to what they were doing on my arm, and
that's gross.
It was gross. But I don't think I should actually put a picture up because it's a bit too graphic.
It is a bit.
I don't even know if people want to see it, you know, but it's disgusting. It's interesting. It's so interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. So I'll actually just put a warning here, and you can see it in 3, 2, 1. I'd be interested to see it.
I'd be interested too.
It's pretty interesting. Okay, next story. The big spiders.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was when we were in Lake Tuba.
We were in Lake Tuba, and I was just going to say, do you want to tell the story? 'Cause I spoke quite a bit then.
Yeah.
So,
but I thought it wasn't me that experienced it. It was you that experienced it.
it was you that experienced it. I don't think you want to experience things, because if you want to experience things, you would experience them, but you don't want to experience things, because if you did want to experience them, you'd experience them. Do you know what I mean? No.
I think you should experience it. You always say I want to experience things, but I don't think you actually want to experience things, because you would experience it if you wanted to experience things. I don't know what you're talking about.
Traveling around Indonesia, there was a lot of big spiders. Yeah. And
from being in Australia, I didn't see any big spiders, because you know there's this big whole thing about like going to Australia and like flush your toilet before you go to use it, because there's going to be spiders that fall out. I literally didn't see any big spiders, and we saw them all in China and Indonesia.
Yeah,
they were huge.
Indonesia mainly, because that's when we saw the massive one. So we were staying in
Lake-toba,
in like this. It was like another cabin, but it was like
really cute.
It was so cute. So basically there was the bathroom downstairs, and on the wall there was this giant spider.
How big was it, Gabriella?
It was literally like this big. That's the size of half of my head. It was massive.
I mean, I was gonna say that's not a good reference, because your head's tiny. But
it's
actually,
still an average sized human head.
And actually, that's still kind of big for a spider.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, so basically, there was this big spider. It's not like a spider that you could just grab in a tissue and throw away.
You can't just put a glass over it. There's no glasses big enough for that.
We had to go to the toilet with this spider. We had to shower with this spider because it wasn't getting rid of it. Oh my god, it was awful. The longer we were there, and the more of spiders that we saw, the easier it was to just kind of be around them, because we would shower, and then like if we'd go to the toilet and the spider would just be there.
It would be creepy, but you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I would just go to the toilet in the middle of the night and have my torch, and then know the spider was there, and then be like, oh, and just ignore it, and it.
Or like, you keep an eye on it the whole time.
Literally, I'd just be like, don't move. It did go. And that's when I jumped in the shower, but I was so weary because I was like,
it could jump out at me at any moment.
Where is it? Where is it gone?
Oh, I hate that. I didn't think I'd be able to do that.
You literally, because where did you shower? You had your own bathroom, you were in the other bit. Oh.
Yeah. We were separate.
Yeah. Barcelona was, look at my bum.
I had to pop that.
No, you didn't, that was that one. This was others.
I don't think that's kids can YouTube though.
I don't think it's either. I think we need to do that again. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the second part of this video.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a third part. Yeah, with just like random other stories, because
we still have some more from Morocco, Paris, Australia. So that is going to be the third and final part.
If you did like the video, then please like and subscribe and share it and comment and do everything. Bye. Why is the lighting so... Oh, it's taken us about 4 hours to film this video. Anyways, bye.